Shalom Uvracha. This week we begin a new Sefer Bemidbar, one to which Chazal gave a somewhat unexpected title, Chumash Hapekudim, which is usually translated as the Book of Numbers. In one sense, the title is understandable. The Sefer opens with a census, or more than one, and others follow later on in Parashat Pinchas. But it's perhaps unexpected because Sefer Bemidbar as a whole is an extremely dramatic sefer. Stories of the Meraglim, of Korach, Mem Riva, Moshe striking the rock, Bilam, Pinchas. The census, in contrast, seems rather lackluster and very repetitive. So in dramatic terms, it seems almost a non-event. Why was this chosen to be the title representing the entire sefer? As we get into the census itself, more questions arise. The phraseology is repeated for each and every shevet. It's very wordy. Toldotam, lemishpachotam, levetavatam, b'mispar shemot, tegulgulotam, ben-esrim shana v'mala. Why that needs to be repeated each time. And not only that, but each time it's broken over two psukim. Pekudim, l'mateh ploni. It's a separate pasuk where it actually lists the number. So why is that? And not only that, but even the terms are a little bit unclear. What's the difference between b'mispar shemot, the counting of names, and pekudim, their number? That's the same thing. So why do we need to have multiple terms for the same thing? Now, this term pekudim is actually quite interesting because we see it again later in the war on Midian, when the soldiers have returned successfully from battle. And the pasuk says, Perek Lamed Aleph Yudaled, it says, "Vayiktzov Moshe ad pekudei hechayil, sarei halavim sarei hameot habayim tzva melchama." Moshe gets angry at the pekudei hechayil. Here's the use of the term pekudim. And what does it mean? It means the officers over the soldiers. So pekudim does not mean number at all. It's nothing to do with counting. These are the appointees. The pekudim are the appointees in an official role over the soldiers. So if we use this meaning of pekudim as officials or appointed ones, and we apply it over here, we actually have a very interesting result. That what was taking place here in our Parashat was not so much a counting of people. Well, counting was happening, but that's not what it was all about. What it really was an appointment of people. Counting was the method. The b'mispar shemot is the method, but pekudim is not their number, but their appointed ones. So you ask, well, appointed for what? So from the continuation, we see that the Torah describes each shevet's pekudim as tzva'o. Now, the term tzva'o could be understood as an armed force. It would be logical to appoint an army at this time, given that the plan at this stage of the game was to continue with kibush haaretz. Alternatively, we could say that the term tzva could be Hashem's royal entourage, his hosts, that surrounds the king as they march through the Midbar. Either way, the picture that emerges here is a very majestic one. Hashem, who is Melech Yisrael v'goalo, Melech haolam, Hashem, the ultimate king, is now officially appointing Bnei Yisrael to be tzivot Hashem, with a mission to perform. Now, what does it mean to be tzivot Hashem? Well, every world leader has an official government, has an official army, military. Why? In order to establish sovereign rule within their domain, so that the nation should operate in accordance with the ratzon of the leadership. Hashem is the Melech HaOlam, and the ultimate purpose of creation was L'taken Olam b'malchut Shakai. This is the mission to which ultimately Bnei Yisrael are being appointed. Now, in Shamayim, you don't need any work to be done. Hashem's sovereignty is already established in Shamayim. As we say in our davening regarding the Malachim, Mekablim alehem ol malchut Shamayim zeh mizeh. Everyone's accepting Hashem's sovereignty. That's not a shaila. It's on earth that the challenge of l'taken olam malchut Shakai applies. And to this end, Hashem is appointing Am Yisrael to be Tzivot Hashem with this mission, the Takenu Laba Malchut Shakai, the first step being Kibush Haaretz, in order to establish Hashem's kingdom in Eretz Yisrael. Now, if this is true, what we've said, we can understand why we have all those wordy, repetitive descriptions, because this is a royal installment ceremony of the tzava of each shevet. And Chumash Hapekudim, the term Chumash Hapekudim, is not to be translated as the book of numbers, but the book of the appointments, or the book of the appointed ones. And what it's describing is the unfolding drama of the development of Machane Israel, beginning with what was a promising and dignified start in our Parashat, but which then is followed by crises, upheavals, and failures. And when we get to the Chet HaMeraglim, when the Pekudim, when the appointed ones abandon their mission, then they are told that Bemidbar hazeh yiplu figurechem, in this desert your corpses shall fall, v'chol pekudechem, v'chol misparchem, all of your Pekudim, all of your appointed ones must die. And then Am Yisrael has to wait 40 years for a new generation of Pekudim to be appointed in Parashat Pinchas. These new Pekudim will be worthy of entering Eretz Yisrael to carry out their divine mission of Kibush Haaretz. But as we've said, Kibush Haaretz was only the first stage of a far greater mission, the greater mission, which is also our mission, the Takenu Laba Malchut Shakai, continues to this very day. And how is it to be achieved? By establishing a society in Eretz Yisrael which is dedicated to the values of Melech HaOlam, to Tzedek HaMishpat, to Kedusha, to Torah. It's important for us to realize that being Jewish is not just about earning mitzvah points in order to get into heaven. Our nation was officially appointed to perform a very concrete mission in this world. Bezrat Hashem, may we succeed personally and collectively in advancing the mission for which Hashem appointed us. Shabbat Shalom.